Hey guys, really excited to dive into the systems that we're going to be using during this challenge, during the 100,000 calls in 100 days. So we're going to need a lot of leads to call. As you can see here, 85,969 contacts. So close to 86,000 people to call. Each one of these comes with on average about 2 or 3 numbers. So we should have plenty of people to call with around 240,000 numbers loaded up, ready to go into the dialer. So I'm going to show you all of the different features. Really quick though, this is the main screen of who I'm actually going to be prospecting. So you're going to see all my different sources: expireds, GeoLeads, FSBOs for rent by owners foreclosures. Expireds we're going to go after because their income failed to get their home sold for whatever reason. Maybe it was marketing plan, maybe it was, price was too high, whatever it may be. We try to help those people out as best as we can. GeoLeads is a circle prospecting tool. So if I take a listing, I'll usually call around the nearest 1,200 neighbors to see if they know of anybody that's looking to move into the neighborhood. This really helps with driving in more buyers, not waiting for buyers to come to us, but really proactively going out and searching them. Then we'll also call around if we have a buyer that wants to be in a certain neighborhood, and we try to create inventory for them. That's what the GeoLeads helps us do. It helps us plug in an address and prospect around that address. Then for sub by owners, people that are trying to sell it on their own, can't blame them, looking to save a little bit of money. Totally get that. If it doesn't work though, is there a good plan B? For rent by owners, people that are looking to self-manage their own rental properties, which again, can't blame them, but not as easy as it looks. So they might be really hyped up for it, and then they usually end up selling after the first year or two. And if not, and they enjoy that process, they're looking for more rental properties, which we can help find them. And then foreclosure properties, people that are just in financial distress. And maybe we can, bring them to somebody that can help them out with that financial situation, keep their house, which is the goal. If for whatever reason they can't, they likely have quite a bit of equity. So instead of losing it to the bank, let us market it, sell it. You're going to see the team data here. We can have up to 5 agents on our team calling these same people, calling these same leads. They're furnished with a dialer. We can assign leads within the platform. So all really, really cool tools that we're going to show you. Pulse bar right here. This is how we're going to track the calls that we're making. We'll kind of get into that, show you how that works, and then we'll show you how the dialer works after that. But first, what I want to do is I'm going to jump into a lead, show you what a lead would look like as we're calling them. So stick with me for just a second. Okay. So here's the next part of what we're going to go over. So this part, what it all includes, holy cow, I went really big. So what this part includes is this is going to be the main screen that I'm seeing as I'm prospecting. So I just made a test lead right here. You can see Kent test. Let's say I call myself, it's me. I can fill that in. You're going to see this contact card start filling in as we go. Let's say I talk to the 702 number, click on that. It generates that. Let's say I get the right email address, or maybe I have to change the email address. I can come in here and change that. And the address. And as soon as I fill in all of that information, there's a little link here that says add to follow-up boss. So I click add to follow-up boss. I can create the stage that it goes in based on what my follow-up boss says. And then I can tag them as a REDX lead, or however I want to tag them within follow-up boss. It shoots it up there so it can get all the appropriate marketing that needs to be done. So that's the main portion of what I'm looking at. A couple of other things that I'm looking at: tax and details. This tells me the different tax information on the property. This is one of my favorite things though, the market insights. So as I'm calling these people, if they have questions about the market and I don't have the MLS pulled up in front of me, let's say, hey, what do you think my house would sell for? I can look at the average price per square foot. I can look at how many days it's going to be on the market. Average days on market right now in Lehigh is 97. So it just helps me create realistic expectations for those sellers because they have places to be. And so we can help temper those expectations. And then the data insights gives me all of the general information about the home and the building insights, so on and so forth. So just a really, really cool, solid tool to really make me prepared as I'm prospecting to have really intentional conversations. Now let's take a look at what the dialer is going to do. Okay, so here's the dialer, and I'm not going to call anybody right now. You guys will get to see that. I'm recording this video a little later at night, so I certainly don't want to call anybody. But right here, we're going to go into this little dialing tab. And this is probably one of my favorite tools that I've ever used, is this dialer. So a couple of things that I can do here: I can set my default number, what number I want it to call. I can call 1, 2, or 3 lines at a time if I want to. I can have a time zone protection just to make sure that I'm not calling it. So I'm here in Utah, and if I'm calling someone in California, it's not going to, and let's say it's 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock their time, I'm not interrupting them just based off of their area code. I can also record the calls as well, and then it transcribes those calls for me. So let's say I just have a really good conversation. I record it. I want to go back and give it to my coach, see how I could improve, or maybe they just give me some good information and I don't want to sit there and take notes. Dialer will do that for me. This will allow me to call in from my computer. It can call in to me. I can leave automated voice messages if I wanted to. I can create my own DNC list. I can integrate as well with some Zapier tools. I can go in and show my reports, my numbers that I want to call from. This is probably the coolest thing that REDX does. There's a lot of spam calls. I can register my number to my real estate business, and then it keeps it off of the spam likely list. So if someone puts me on there. It checks with AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon, says, nope, this number is legit. It's a business number. He's calling for real estate. He's not spamming people, which is really, really cool. So that's what that Trust Hub does. Then I can look at the history of my phone calls right here. If I click on this, it'll give me that transcription, like I said, and then it has that recording of that call as well. My settings is my default number, where I want to receive calls back at in case anybody calls me. And then the beta feature is really cool. So the Spotify feature allows me to open Spotify, be listening to Spotify as it rings and it's calling people. If someone answers, it pauses to Spotify, allows me to have my conversation. And then when I hang up with that prospect, it resumes the music. And then the whisper feature is a tool where if you're training an ISA, or you have a coach that you want to drop in and have coach you, it gives you a number that they can call into with a pin, and then they can listen to both sides of the conversation and coach you throughout that conversation. Just, again, really, really cool features. As you can see, this dialer is very, very unnoticeable up here at the top, and then you have all of your lead information right here. So again, just a cool tool. This gives you a Zillow link to the property. I can see the map. So again, just a lot of really cool features that REDX and Waav together offer. Okay, last thing I want to show you, again, this is how we're going to keep track of who we're calling, what kind of connections we're having, voicemails we're dropping, people we're talking to, who we're talking to, so on and so forth, is through this Pulse stats bar. So a couple of things that we can do. This is mainly for the team account, but Pulse works with an individual one as well. But you can pull it up by time range. You can view by day, week, month, year, however you want to pull that up. And then you can show everybody, you can show the whole team, and it just pulls up everybody, tells you how many calls you made, connections you've had, contacts, appointments you've set, how much time you've spent prospecting, which is going to be a crucial part in how I'm tracking all of these numbers, making these 100,000 phone calls. So hopefully this gives you a really great idea of what we're going to be doing with just calling. And again, this is just one part of the system. Tomorrow we'll go a little bit more into Follow-Up Boss. We'll show you some things within Real Scout, within Fellow that we're going to be using as well. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for sticking with this video. Just a lot of really solid information. If you're at all interested in working with REDX, we have an affiliate code that we worked out with them. It's a discount code. It gets you a Waav setup fee on their $150 setup fee. So honestly, with the GeoLeads, with the dialer, you can work this if you're in insurance and solar and real estate. I mean, you name it. There's something for everybody here if you need to speak to homeowners in order to have success with your business.